Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Moss, and it's time for us to play some Pioneer. Now, here's the thing. The new set's only been out for about a week at this point, little under it, and already one of the standout cards is Rona. Alright, the good combo deck that we've seen come out with it has basically been just a repeat of like old inverter decks, but with a legendary focus. Think less Kethis and more it can almost survive on its own. So obviously, we got to test it out here too. However, instead of doing the Mox Amber Legend loop with Retraction Helix shenanigans, mill your opponent out plan, we're going straight value. And we're going value with Girlboss Sultai. Alright? Now, Sultai, black base, Thoughtseize, push, good removal, Lily, and Shelly. Sultai means we're going to go with some green. We got the Glizzy, Glissa herself. All the good green removal. We're trying out Deeproot Wayfinder. Alright, it's a 2-3 with Surveil, return a land from the graveyard to the battlefield. Surprisingly good to just mill over the top of your library repeatedly. And being able to put any land from your graveyard onto the battlefield, kind of huge. Especially when you start to really put together the legendary sub-theme that we got going here. Again, new set, playing the new cards. Zimone and Dina, draw your second card. And then you're going to drain and gain your opponent for 2. And then you can draw some extra cards, do some land loop shenanigans. Easy. Sideboard, typical green, blue, and black stuff. We're really low on the counterspell package in this deck. And despite the fact that in testing I'm about 8-3 with it, I'm still not entirely sold on the blue beyond these 2 cards in the main. There's an argument to be made for this deck being just pure Golgari midrange, but blue's there for a reason. And a couple of these cards feel good, so gotta represent it here. Thrun, basically the Rakdos beater here, nothing's getting through it. Tear Asunder for Greasy, Go Blank for Greasy, Noxious Grasp, Extinction Event, all the things that you would expect for the various matchups. Mana base, using lots of those legendary lands, and the creature lands, great with Zimone and Dina, great with Wayfinder, and the standout here, Plaza of Heroes, does all sorts of great things with our legends. Definitely got to use it since we are running so many legends, including Titania as well. Got to have Argoth, got to have the good channel lands. Now, not going to do the whole Esper and Standard thing where you're basically just running them in lieu of removal spells. We're still doing the traditional one of each, but there's probably a version that can be explored that leans a little bit more heavily on these. But that's everything. I'll see you guys in match number 1. Alright, and we are in game number 1. And we're going to be on the play with not a terrible hand. We got Deeproot Wayfinder on 2, Fatal Push, and a couple 3-drops. Not bad, it's keepable. Alright, let's see what our opponent will do after we go Hive and pass. Let's see, our opponent is a Lutri deck, so they're probably Grixis control? See, Lutri just is all over the place, so it's so hard to actually make a real evaluation of the deck. Alright, Wayfinder and pass. Greatest thing about Wayfinder is the fact that it's a 2-3, so like our opponent just has such difficulty killing it with like their red removal spells. So they need like push or just anything, but they just got Field of Ruin. We might be in a really great spot right now. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and swing with our Deeproot Wayfinder. It gets through uncontested. Is it contested? Hello? No way. No way that you have a Braid. Get out of here. Alright, bet. So, play Botanical Sanctum, and I guess we're just going to go ahead and play Titania. That 3/4 is going to be just as hard for our opponent to get through. Alright, so tap land for our opponent. Well, let's go ahead and swing Titania. Maybe we'll swing Titania? Maybe they'll let us? Okay. Yes. Swing. Take the 3. Ain't no way that you have an instant speed that does 4. Okay. That's what I thought. Now, do we want to risk running Zimone and Dina out into just nothing? I don't think so. So leaving up a mana just in case they have Censor? Can't imagine that they would. Alright, cool beans. Okay, yeah, so the opponent did have Censor. Why are we calling the control deck's shots right now? Alright, let's see what they do. They might just do the draw go thing. Land. Okay. Well, they've got 4 mana. They already ran through their Shark Typhoon. There's not a whole lot that they're really playing in. Maybe they're not Grixis. Maybe they're just straight Izzet. But even then, is it Lutri? The removal suite's just not the same and definitely not good. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Opponent going crazy with the removal spells. Alright. Catch us by surprise. We'll shock that in and then slowly realize we actually can't do anything with it on Forge. We did need that extra black mana, but we'll make them think that we have counter spells up. Hopefully, our opponent does nothing this turn. Because if they can control our board even just a little bit more than they already are... Okay, taking out their Fable token won't be bad. Yeah, no, we're definitely just killing this now then. Man, opponent's just taking out all of our toys right now. Okay. Well, we will play our Chariot. They got rid of their Braid. They got rid of Prismari Command. There's not really a whole lot more that they can use on us. Alright, opponent's going to do the thing. They discarded a Hullbreaker Horror. What? Okay, there has to be something. Maybe I'm just losing it. Okay, opponent casts Burn Down the House. That is actually phenomenal for them. Alright, so what we do here is we just go ahead and animate, swing. We're going to take something out of their yard, take out the Hullbreaker Horror just in case. I mean, opponent's down to 7, which is good? We really just need something. Something good right here. Okay, they foretell? Opponent, what are you doing? Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Oh. Well, sugar. Alright, that's cool. The Moto interface strikes again. Opponent casts Dig Through Time. Yeah. We are not in a great spot right now. The control deck doing control things is not the spot where we want to be, and missing out on that extra 3 points of damage is really going to feel bad. Okay, let's go ahead and just do it. Make our opponent find a land. I mean, and is it they're going to get land, like basic mountain steam vents? Who knows? Okay, got another snow covered. Okay, wow, hold up. Actually cracked. Actually insane draw right now. As long as the opponent doesn't counter this, let's go. Alright. We're in the driver's seat. Deck about to go crazy. You know, again, this is just really highlighting the fact that we would have had lethal on board if Moto just hadn't treated us so poorly. Again, one reason why the arena interface is better, it stops bad play decisions from happening. Alright. We will take that and copy it. Yep. Of course, Gear Hulk will do a thing. Oh, you're just casting Dig Through Time? Sure. Okay. Now, it would be great if we can crack this clue and just before damage manage to rip a Tear Asunder off the top. Alright. And come on. Ah. Okay, Plaza of Heroes would have done the trick, but we're just not that lucky. Womp, womp, sad trombone noises. Okay. This does put us up to 8. We top deck another untapped source. We do get to activate both of our Hive of the Eye Tyrants, which is pretty sick, actually. And honestly, depending on what our opponent plays here... Okay, so they foretell another card. This means that one of the cards that they foretold is the counter spell, and that the other one's Behold the Multiverse. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do this, then. I mean, there's a possibility one of them's like Alrund's Epiphany. Well, can't exactly do that. Alright, let's see. There's also a chance that our opponent just has, like, one of the copy spells as a thing that they can do. We're going to go ahead and take Prismari Command, because that seems like the most damaging card for us in this instance. Okay. Opponent drawing nothing. We're making a search. Yeah, I think we really do just need to, like, try and jam Glissa here. Like, Glissa's gonna eat a counterspell. Again, we're pushing our advantage as hard as we can here. Oh, Glissa survived. Okay, we did at least call Behold the Multiverse. Alright. So they have to have another 3 damage spell to get rid of Glissa, and if they let us untap, we have Plaza of Heroes to protect it. We're better now. I feel secure in this. This is a good spot. Okay, now that our opponent's truly Grixis, what are they going to do? Are they going to put Lutri in hand and then just Lightning Axe away our Glissa before we can do anything? I will, unfortunately, have to kill a Lightning Otter if need be. Wouldn't be PETA friendly, but it'd be something. Okay. Are we going to continue calling all of our opponent's shots right now? Is that our future? Are we actually Madame Cleo right now with this deck? No, they U-Stomp. Okay, so they were still going to do the Lutri thing, but just not as cool. Alright. Double Stomp. Well, guess what? Now, Lutri's dead. Way to go. You got an otter killed. Shame on you, opponent. Alright. Okay, so all we need at this point is our opponent to swing with Bone Crusher or swing with Torrential and just leave one of their creatures back so we can animate and swing through with both of our things. And again, we're golden. No such luck for us, though. Alright, land and go. Yeah. And our opponent's about halfway through their deck. And I think they're about to get into a position where they can just start wantonly swinging. Now, if we had a Shelly on our side, though... Okay, opponent, it would be silly to not attack with this Brazen Borrower right now. I get not swinging with both of your ground creatures, but... something. Okay. We'll take 8 here. On the off chance that we actually do manage to find a removal spell, hand goes insane. And we find no such thing. Okay, so let's just sit back one more turn. this game was ours, unfortunately, to lose. Us missing that swing with the Hive of the Eye Tyrant earlier cost us 3 extra points. Yeah, alright, sweet. That's what did it. Womp womp. Alright, on to game number 2. And sideboarding. Okay. So, go blink, Thrun, stopping all the counter spells. No reason to bring in Extinction Event. Duress is, however, probably a great inclusion. Fatal Push, gone, and I think the other thing to drop here, just dropping one Go for the Throat. And let's bring in a couple more Tear Asunders. What else could be bad here? Zimone and Dina, fine. Thoughtseize, great. Esika's Chariot was in that one spot good, but so much of the other instances it wasn't. It would have just sat there. And I think we do need to potentially drop either Lily or a Scooze. And I think just dropping a Scooze is good here. They're not relying on their graveyard that much. That being said, the one time we say that, it's going to be when we actually see the Hellkite from the last set that reanimates things from your graveyard whenever you randomly exile them, which is an insane feat. Alright, so opponent is finished sideboarding. Yes, we would definitely like to be on the play. Alright, Duress, land, Bankbuster, absolute keep. We're definitely going to go Tomb into Wayfinder, because making sure that we hit land drops, especially from this kind of light hand right now, and we're really risking it with the power word kill in our hand. Ooh, opponent mulligans though. Okay. Mulliganing when you have nothing but one-ofs besides lands. Easy. Alright. So, shock in that. And boom. Okay. Things that we don't want our opponent to have here. Shark Typhoon lets them draw into something else. Now, if we had taken the Dwari Disruption, that would have felt really cool. But, oh, wow. Well, let's go ahead and just play this out. Make our opponent have to potentially counter it. Alright, so they play their field. It's Dwari and a few others in hand. Alright, let's attack. Alright. Now, yes, we're going to put this straight into the graveyard, use its ability, and now we are ramping. Let's go. This is when the deck starts to fire on all cylinders. Alright. Thoughtseize our opponent. Alright, our opponent considers, so that was the other card that they had in hand. Okay. What do we want to do here? Chandra's far away. Castle Vantra's far away. Dwari Disruption counters unless we pay 1. Yeah, we're going to take away the Brotherhood's End. Dwari Disruption can be a little iffy. Alright. Going to go ahead and shock in that extra land. Oh, yes. Please, more lands. Alright. And Tireless Tracker. Now, opponent's definitely going to counter the Bankbuster here. There's no reason for him not to. Yeah, cool. We're not going to worry about it. Can't counter it. But now they're potentially down a land. And that feels good if we get them stuck here. Nope. They got a second Field of Ruin. Alright, they're going to stomp our tracker. But they're left with Deluge and Chandra. With no chance of really casting either and leaving themselves anywhere good. Alright, let's just go ahead and draw a card. Aw, man. Being able to mill over that would have been good. Definitely a missequence on our part. No, we're not going to use its ability. Alright, well, realistically, we're fine here. Because they're going to have to use their Bone Crusher to just have blockers at this point. Or they're interesting, they just cast Treasure Cruise. Okay. Well, we are going to cast Glissa. And we're going to leave up Plaza of Heroes because at this point, being able to keep her on the field is going to really swing this game in our favor. It's just continual card advantage. Alright. As long as our opponent doesn't try to do anything funny on the end step. Will they? They're definitely taking their sweet time. Looking at that hand, this just packed full of 2 extra spells. And our opponent's only on 2 colored sources. They're down to 1 red mana. Okay, yeah, we gotta use this here because we don't want them. This is where we get hurt. I feel it now. They're gonna sweep us. They're gonna use their Field of Ruins to get a red source out of their deck, and then they're just gonna cast like the Red Wrath. One of the many Red Wraths. Okay. Or they're just gonna Chandra minus. Yep. Okay. Actually. So what we could do here would be real sweet, actually. Yeah, let's stick with that line. Okay. So we're going to Takenuma. Take stuff out of our deck. What do we want to get back? It's the Glissa. We're going to go and do all of these things. And then we're going to go ahead and kill this Chandra before it does any more damage. Okay, so they got Deluge and 2 unknowns. Again, any of the Red Wraths, Anger of the Gods, all those would do it right now. Okay, they just cast Deluge, so that's good. They're digging deep in their deck, though. So, 4 deep, getting 2 spells. They get us Steam Vents, or they had a Steam Vents. Who knows? Okay. So, we're just going to go ahead and push damage here. Are they going to take out the Hive or Glizzy? Hey, go for Hive. Oh no, we have all of our basics. Man, alright, they field checked us, so now they know. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and draw a card. Okay, Shelly, though, is not bad. Going to play our other Deeproot Wayfinder. Hope that we avoid burn down the house and so many other things. Alright. Did we get there? Did we get there? Feel free to concede, opponent. Feel free to concede. You're thinking about it. You're running down the clock. You're just trying to secure that win before halftime. Other sports metaphors. Football's the only one that I actually know anything about. But are they going to get to the end zone? Are they going to score the goal here? Okay. 2 red and a blue. Ah, they Sweltering Suns. Okay. That feels bad. And they continue to check us. Alright, we have to avoid just the worst outcome here. Alright. Alright, our opponent cannot get rid of the Sheoldred. They have to let her live. We just need 2 draws out of them. 2. We got 1 more life to get. That's it. If they have Lightning Axe here, it hurts. But we at least have ways to get out from under this. This is like the one time I wish we had Graveyard Trespasser in this deck, but Scavenging Ooze is just way more efficient in that slot. Deals better with Greasefang than Graveyard Trespasser ever could. Gosh, playing the control matchup just feels so rough at the beginning of a league. Because you're going to have to use all of your time playing against them. And it's just like infinite brain power just drained in the process. They do have a sick avatar, though. Can't fault that. Okay, now the opponent finally decides what to do. And the thing that they do is burn down the house. Are you kidding? Okay, so we do have Shelly. Or not Shelly. We do have Scooz. Scooz is good. Okay. Scooz can go hard. Opponent's got Lutri and 2 unknowns in hand. They're probably going to use this as their opportunity to just, like, what? Okay. Okay. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and stop you from, I guess, drawing any cards. Or at least drawing that many. Man. All we need is just 1 more point. one more point and we're there. Alright, behold the multiverse in exile for our opponent. And they just straight up cast it. Okay, so we need an insane draw, but that's not going to do it for us. Alright, Duress. Okay, yeah, no, opponent did have things that they could do. Lutri, Abrade, Impulse, Fires of Victory. Jeez. That is a hand. With 5 lands, I don't think we're going to be able to actually finish this game off against them. Which is sad and unfortunate for us right now. Alright, so go ahead and do that. We'll take the 2 off of the Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, brutal. Alright. Hold on to the Otawara. Opponent's gonna scry. Castle Vantress isn't a bad inclusion. And honestly, it's something that would work for this deck. Alright, there's their own Bankbuster. And then they draw a card. We're just going to go ahead and exile this. Hopefully they don't counter it. Okay. Ew. Unlicensed hearse. Yeah. I think opponents got us here. Because they've just got a handful removal. Their hand is absolutely stacked. I think the only way we're getting there is if, like, we resolve the Sheoldred and for whatever reason they just let it live with no real reason why. Okay. Sure. We're gonna stick with it. Oh yeah. That's right. They had a third Field of Ruin. Oof. Yep. Pack it up. Pack it in. We're gonna let this opponent have the match. See y'all in the next one. Alright. Match number 2. And we are gonna be on the draw since we lost the die roll. Womp womp. Alright. This hand is terrible. 1 land and a bunch of expensive spells. Mulligan. Easy. And we're playing against a Kahira deck. It's definitely control. I think in this situation, honestly, just keep them all. Like, if we can manage to... Yeah, so definitely control. Alright, Blooming Marsh, go. Man, the Control League for real. Alright, let's chalk in Breeding Pool. We'll play Scooze. See our opponent. Surprisingly not counter it. Alright, so let's go ahead and attack with Scoos. And then we're going to go ahead and Thoughtseize our opponent here. See what they got going on in their hand. Nope. They counter that. They don't want us knowing the secrets. That's okay. We'll let the wizard keep their secrets. Totally fine with that. Alright. So this is where the hand can get kind of cool. We're going to go ahead and swing with both of these. If they go ahead and oo-woo us with the Emperor, we're fine with it. Not super thrilled with it, but yeah. Just oo-wooed. Oo-wooed by the Emperor. Okay, that's fine. Acceptable. Not really. Just like the oo-woo wasn't acceptable, but you know. We're going to pretend it was. Alright, Tireless Tracker. Play a land, get the trigger, and pass. Okay, if we make it back to our turn with all of these cards, we're going to feel a little bit better. Okay, so they just downtick their Emperor, which means they have a Wrath or Teferi, yeah. Cool. It's going to be interesting. Okay. So, what we want to do in this situation is we want to make sure that we just make our creature live. Honestly, we want both of our creatures to live, and I don't want to play Glizzy out on this board if I know that she won't survive. They cast another Dovin's Veto, which is odd here. Okay, we're going to send both of these at Tef. Okay, we're not sending anything else onto this battlefield because it is definitely dying. Like, we're seeing a farewell or something hit the battlefield right now. Okay, it's another Emperor. We get Illid on, and this is just like, yeah? Why I keep doing the oo-woo will never cease to be odd, but anything for a good laugh. Alright, so we're playing through the Agonizing Control League. Alright, what's the more problematic thing for us right now? It's definitely Teferi in this situation. Okay. We're going to go ahead and play out the Bankbuster. It's probably going to get countered. Alright, well, let's play out Glissa, and either she's going to get countered or the board wipe's going to come. And there is no protecting ourselves from that situation. Oh, they put Kahira in hand. Ah, lay down arms. I can actually stand Kahira being on this board. Weirdly enough. Untap land. Okay, Zimone and Dina's not awful. Okay, so we're gonna... This is like the one time that Abrupt Decay is actually kind of sick in the control match. Kind of goes crazy. Alright, we're gonna take out the Wandering Emperor here. Next turn, as long as we don't get just dunked on by a board wipe, we actually kind of survive this situation. Oh no. Gross. Alright, we get Shark Typhooned. Okay, that's not a great spot for us. Really nothing in this situation's great. Okay. Alright, we're gonna just send this at Tef. It's not gonna make it at Tef. We're gonna go ahead and activate this. Zimone and Dina, trigger. No things there. Alright, so always yield. Save targets. Always yield. Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and kill that. If they let it through. Oh. That doesn't bode well. Alright, we did 4 damage. Wow, that was aggressive putting the Shelly back. Okay. Never mind. You do you, opponent. Okay, so Shelly's a couple cards deep for us. Opponent's digging hard and not seeing rats or really any of the big finishers in control besides their normal shenanigans. Alright, let's Thoughtseize again. Or are you going to counter this one? Okay. Another Teferi. That's disgusting. Truly abhorrent. Absolutely vile. Okay. So we get the Glizzy. We send them at Teferi. And our opponent's stuck with just 2 sensors in hand. Okay. They got rid of the 2 sensors in hand. So now we have no idea what they actually have. Okay. So our opponent's up to 3, about to be 4 unknowns. Don't you, opponent? I know what you're thinking. Because control players are slightly evil. Don't you, monster. You hate fun. And you steal lollipops from children. Wow. Okay. Surprisingly, I still don't hate this. Are they just going to counter our Briarbridge Tracker? No. Well, looky there. Alright, we're going to draw. We're going to drain and gain. Okay, our opponent cycles. Can we actually kill Teferi? That would be just sweet. Alright, land is entering the battlefield tapped. Alright, Zimone and Dina. Let's have y'all finish off Teferi, as long as there is not another Shark Typhoon. Okay, March of Otherworldly Light still worthy, but not as bad, I guess. Alright, we're still keeping up the good fight. Okay, we can Hall of Storm. They can Hall of Storm Giants win, maybe? We still have Glissa in our deck. So, we got ways to win. Okay. What you got, opponent? What could you have? Cool. You had Verdict. Alright. We're playing this. Are you gonna Otawara the Glizzy back to our hand at the end step? No. You don't Otawara the Glizzy at all. Okay. Play Vantress. And instead they have Supreme Verdict. That is better than Glissa could have ever been. Can we get another one? Off the top? That'd be great. Please, deck? Nope. Alright. Our deck also steals lollipops from children. Well, yeah. There's really no point in activating Argoth. That's one of the biggest problems with this. Wanted to run the full, just legendary package, but Argoth milling ourselves, and we might be a 26 land deck, but we really don't wind up with lands in the graveyard all that often. Didn't really make a whole lot of sense to run it and Titania together. And this is definitely nowhere close to like a finished version. Well, don't have to worry about that decision point anymore. Alright, let's see. Can we get there? It's a Hive. But Hive doesn't really keep us alive. Let's see what our opponent does on their next turn beyond just casting Memory Deluge and just generating insane card advantage. Alright, they plus Teferi. They cast a Shark Typhoon. They cast another Shark Typhoon. Don't think we're getting this one. See, one more draw, and then we'll make the call. Yeah, we're not getting there. Alright, GG opponent. Alright, sideboarding. Against control. Duress in. Go blank. Noxious in. Thrun in. Counterspell and D-stroke in. Pushes are out. Lily stays in. Abrupt Decay, Tear Asunder. We're actually just going to go ahead and get rid of the removal spells entirely. And I think one of the other things that we might want to cut here is likely just the Asika's Chariot. If they kill off all of our creatures, there's no way for us to actually crew it and use it. So, run it like this. Alright, we won the die roll. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hand is fine. Lands, Deeproot Wayfinder's pretty sick here, actually, because we can go Wayfinder on 2 with Mutavault on 2 and have lots of creature power. And we have a D-Stroke in hand for when they try to disrupt our plan with a Wandering Emperor or a Teferi. Ooh, an opponent mulligans to 6. Alright, so it's a fine start. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is next turn, we're going to start by Thought Seizing our opponent. And then we might either animate our Mutavault depending on what they have, or we may just untap Breeding Pool and pass. Ooh, rest in peace. Nasty. Hateful opponent right now. Divine Smite. Divine Smite, Lay Down Arms, Emperor into Fairy. Alright, let's actually just do that. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this. Play Rona. And go ahead and swing with our Deeproot Wayfinder. Ooh, okay, yeah, no, we'll keep that on top. Wow, alright, well, I guess we'll just get the swamp there. They get the plains. They're going to lay down arms, targeting our Deeproot one. Oh, they get rid of Rona. Okay, well, let's go ahead and just duress their hand again. We know basically what's in it, but we're not going to worry too much about it. We're going to take the Divine Smite, play that, and then if our opponent would like to move the game forward, swing. Alright. Trigger our Wayfinder. Honestly, I think we're just gonna let that one go to the bottom. We do have enough lands in this deck to where we can reasonably just start letting some of our things go. Alright, and we're gonna counter that. Okay. Alright. Let's see. We'll actually keep the Castle Locthwain on top. Alright. Our opponent now has 2 spells in hand. 1 spell in hand. Okay, so they just beheld the multiverse. Cool. I mean, that's fine on top of our library, you know. We'll take Go Blank off the top. Okay. Maybe opponent actually fears a counterspell out of us after that last one. Which would be kinda rad. Okay. So let's go ahead and Go Blank our opponent. Now, admittedly, we could have just cast Thoughtseize, especially knowing that they were going to essentially brick there. But again, we're still holding up Fate Counterspell mana. Sure, we might not be able to draw on their end step, but I really don't think that we need to, given the current circumstances. Our opponent's top decking every turn. Okay. Okay, opponent played a Prairie Stream. Oh. Okay. Interesting. They have 2 Angel tokens now. With Flying and Vigilance. That was not the card I expected out of them. Okay. So, I think we're just gonna actually, do that. And okay. Well, now we have a very interesting game. So they're swinging in for 8 in the air each turn that we cannot block. We need a Sheoldred or something good off the top. Okay, Glizzy's a start. We'll take the Make Disappear. Okay. Now, the problem is, like, they're still swinging in for a good bit. Like, they've got a 2-turn clock right now. We need exactly Shelly off the top. Shelly is the only thing that helps us in this situation right now. Alright, they knock us down to 5. Can we live through this? The answer is no. Oh my gosh. Alright, back-to-back control losses. Sheesh. Alright. One more match. Alright, let's see if we can recover it and go from the 0-2 to 3-2 pipeline. Alright, game number 3. And this is an ideal kind of mid-rangey hand. Admittedly, Deathcap Glade kind of sucks for a second land, so top decking an untapped one would be sick here. But with our opponent mulliganing, like, not keeping this hand would be insane. Plus, the Wayfinder right here does work too. Alright, our opponent does black mid-rangey things of their own. They go Swamp Thoughtseize. Chances are they're going to take our own Thoughtseize to stop us from disrupting their game plan. And if they do, I'm leaning on either Rakdos or just straight mono black, especially after the weekend it had during the most recent Mana Traders event. Okay, so pegging this as black mid-range with a double Thoughtseize Mold a 6 opener. They take the Deeproot Wayfinder here. They're definitely reading that card. There's no world where they are not. And I mean, if they only have one land here, I don't necessarily fear that situation. Yep, alright, so opponent's definitely a reader. Reading is fundamental. Alright, so we finally got our third color. We play Blooming Marsh Go. And now we're going to be playing this game of basically who's going to draw into the rest of their gas from here. Because if our opponent gets stuck on a... well, Mana Confluence definitely changes this equation slightly. Okay. Oh, you're Greasefang? Gross. Alright. Yeah, they get rid of a Parhelion. Alright. I mean, we have Tear Asunder and Power Word Kill. Alright, Grizzly Salvage. You get a bunch of cards. You choose Courtyard. And you put everything else down. I mean, you know I have the... problem is, like, we can't just straight up cast anything until we get land number 4. And despite having the one lander, our opponent's kind of getting ahead on lands. Okay. So, land 4, but we didn't say untapped land, so our deck has to be a little bit picky, a little iffy with us. Another Grizzly Salvage. They get to put creature or land. They're probably going to choose Greasy. It'd be silly for them not to. Thankfully, our hand is kind of set right now against Greasy. So I think if... yeah, they choose Greasefang. Alright, so... okay, opponent. Okay. Well, we know what you're doing next turn. We know that you're going to try to cast the Parhelion. Okay, so next turn. Oh, well, alright. This game is turned around in a very weird way. A way that I don't necessarily hate. Again, main deck Scavenging Ooze is incredible right now. Okay, our opponent was just probably rethinking a lot of decisions. Yeah, we'll put that in the graveyard. Yeah, we'll definitely let that one come back. There are just... Okay. Now, what's opponent going to do? If they try to can't stay away, something, we're going to target with Grease, or we're going to target with Scoos. Are we coming back? Are we coming back? Let's see. What's opponent going to do? Are they going to act a fool? Or are they just going to sit there? Wrong, homie. You ain't getting to come back from squat diddly anywhere. Bud. Homie. My guy. I mean, yeah, we'll target your Grease Fang. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we actually just win from this point. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, now we can get ahead of ourselves. We definitely just won that game. All right, let's go. Sideboarding. All right, Tear Asunder, Go Blink, Noxious Grasp, and then we're taking out our Bankbuster and Chariot in this situation. We're taking out Go for the Throat, and we're taking out Liliana of the Veil. And then we're also gonna take out a Sheoldred. Having the Thoughtseize is gonna be fine, although we do now have a harder time kind of getting Revolt to trigger, which kind of sucks. There is almost an argument for bringing in a third Abrupt Decay in lieu of another Fatal Push. Yeah, let's do that. Again, as many Greasefang targets as we can get rid of as possible. And again, 4 Tear Asunder is like guaranteed to just hose this deck. Alright. This hand is a little slow, but it's keepable. And as long as we don't get disrupted, wow. Alright, this hand's getting just better by the moment. Okay, so... Again, we avoid disruption, we bring the eruption. Bars. Alright, so we'll play the Takenuma, and then we're gonna Noxious Grasp a Greasy before they can even get the ability to pop off. Always remember, if you're going to play this deck on Moto, that you have your beginning of upkeep stop set up. That way, it doesn't just straight up go into combat. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to take 6 across these next couple of turns. Unless we just... Okay. Not the worst situation for us here. It is still better for us to just go ahead and do this, though. So we'll go blank. We'll put them down some more on cards. Alright, we make them get rid of a Scrapwork Mutt and a Traverse. Now's where we have to hope that we fade the Chariot. Okay. Is Informant going dormant? Okay. So, I think we have to do it yet again, actually. Now, if they have Grizzly Salvage here, like, it feels kinda bad. Alright, we're gonna go down to 9 this turn. But we're gonna have Power Word Kill. Our opponent's only got 1 card in hand. And we're about to have Titania that can just effectively block everything they can throw at us. Like, I don't hate this spot for us. Now, what we should have done is probably have kept that blue mana open, just to make it seem like we have a counter spell, because I know that that's one thing that Greasefang fears, is a good counter spell deck. Well, just gonna go ahead and do that. Now, realistically, we should have probably kept that Power Word Kill up. Okay. Yeah, taking the Tireless Tracker is definitely the better choice for our opponent here. Okay. Cool. Kill it. Have we overcome the menace? Did we beat the Scourge of Pioneer? By Jove, I think we've done it. Okay. Opponent is looking at their hand, looking at this situation. Can they come back? It's a real good question. And I don't know if they have the ability to answer it. Come on. Come on. Can you come back? I don't think they can. I don't think they got it. I don't think they have the heart of the cards. Let's see. Alright. So, opponent tanked and tanked and tanked and finally moved to their turn. Alright, they've got 2 cards in hand, but are they good cards? Now, realistically, they could maybe get a little bit closer to comboing. You're floating green and black. What you thinking of doing over there, opponent? You got one of them there removal spells? Oh, wow, they actually did have one of them there removal spells. Okay, cool. Oh, goodness. Chariot, Parhelion, Can't Stay Away, and they've got their creatures in there, and they dealt damage to us? Disgusting. Well, I was going to eat both of your informants here because there's no reason for me not to. Okay, so opponent really has nothing that they can do. Like, if they go and just, like, Grizzly Salvage this turn, maybe they can hope to get something. But they've lost. They've definitely lost in this situation. Okay. Witherbloom, Rapheme, Parhelion, Chariot. You choose the informant. Alright, well, we're just gonna eat all your vehicles. I'm eating another vehicle. I'm eat another vehicle. Okay. Again, I think this is maybe the one thing that I wish Scooz had that Graveyard Trespasser actually does, but it's the damage that it gives. The damage that it deals just when it eats these creatures. Like, that's the biggest problem. We took it down. We actually took down Greasefang. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, GG's opponent. Alright, see you guys in match number 4? Are we doing it? Alright, match number 4, and we are going to be on the play. And this hand is okay. It's a good mix of land and spells. Admittedly, Plaza's going to really kind of carry us here, especially if we can make it to turn 4. But we have a perfect, like, 2-3 curve. Oh, we're playing against Greasefang. Again. Okay. That's gonna bite us. It was definitely better to play. Yeah. Yep. It was definitely better. Well, alright, maybe not. Alright, so next turn we're just gonna go Swamp and Scooze, leaving up the Plaza and another. Well, actually, I think we should go just Swamp and then use the Plaza for green. That way we can hold up the 2 actual green mana that we have. This is going to be a Glissy game. Alright, the Glizzy will get us there. Ah, yep. Thought it would get us there. And Thoughtseize definitely took that chance away. Yeah, hate to see it. Yeah, hate to see it. Alright, so let's just attack with Glissa. Let's draw a card. Okay. I don't hate that. Cool. Titania. And I just realized that we took ourselves off of push mana. Yep. Okay. So, well, that's fine. So here's what we're going to do. We are gonna do this. Investigate. Crew. And let's see how brave our opponent wants to be. Do they want to take 7 here? The smart thing for them is to take out the Glissa on our upkeep. Okay. So they're going with this move. So they're just going to straight up take 4 here. Yeah, no, you block that. You take the 3. You don't care about what happens in this instance. Now they can go for the Grease Fang here, but they don't. Oh, gross. Absolutely vile. Okay. Cool. You do that, opponent. Okay. So green, green, blue. We'll use that legendary green here. Okay. Now, if they play Greasefang here, they get to crew their Sky Sovereign in response, which, I mean, you take out the Briarbridge Tracker, which definitely don't feel great. Okay. Well, ain't that just a kick in the pants? So this is the exact opposite type of game that we were expecting. And what's crazy is they can actually animate both. Now, what our opponent doesn't realize is we will happily just take all of this. Okay. No way. No way. Oh, okay. Alright, well, let's just see if they do it. Let's make them crew it first. Because that's the key thing here. Let's make them crew it. Which they can crew it technically with all of their, like, tokens that aren't tapped and swinging for, like, right at lethal. Opponent also knows that that's the situation, I believe. They know that we're going to kill this. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yep. Alright, opponent does the thing. We called it. We saw the line. They saw the line. But now we have the problem of, since we both see it, who's actually going to do something with it. Now, if we had Sheoldred off the top, we're like not necessarily stabilized. Yeah, opponent, you just swing out. Like, I don't think there's a world where our opponent doesn't swing out there. Okay. Again, this is a really interesting situation. Alright, so we can actually Plaza of Heroes protecting our Titania. Alright, they traverse. Opponent's going to put themselves up to pretty high number of permanents. Okay, so we're going to start by cracking that. And then we're going to kill that. And opponent didn't go ahead and, well, they can't reanimate their Grease Fang. Alright, is opponent actually going to swing out? Oh, no way. Swing out. Swing out. Swing out. They didn't go for the fences. They saw the obvious line. Alright. Okay. Ooh, wait a second. It exiles itself. It doesn't just go to the graveyard. Yikes. Okay. So, well, there's the Sheoldred. Is it enough, though? The answer is no. It is not. It is far from enough. Opponent's not fun. Okay. We'll concede. Alright, well, same thing we did in the last game. Abrupt Decays, Go Blanks, Noxious Grasp. And then we take out Go for the throat. We take out our own. We take out Lily. We take out Bankbuster. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't actually remember the other things that we brought in. We trimmed on a Fatal Push. And we trimmed on a Shelly. Yeah. Yeah. I actually think we want to maybe bring in... Necromensch is such a hard one to really consider bringing in. Because, yeah, it deals with the direct combo, and then they're just left with a bunch of just, you know, kind of meh things outside of that. Okay, yeah, we'll bring that in and we'll actually drop... I think we actually need to drop Zimone and Dina there. Okay. Yeah. Run it. Hand slaps. Will keep. And as long as they don't disrupt us, we're fine. Like, an ideal situation for us. Okay. Temple Garden tapped. Blooming Marsh. Green black. Go. Okay. Now, the card to name in this situation every single time is Greasefang Okaiba Boss. It might seem tempting to name any number of the vehicles, but you name Greasefang every single time. Alright, so let's play, and then let's do it. Greasefang. There we go. 0 in hand, can't stay away. Alright, let's see what they brought in as any other threats. They have their own Shellies. Alright, so opponent's hand is actually garbage. They've got 2 Lilies. They've got Satyr Wayfinder. Yeah, we're fine. Alright. What's opponent gonna do here? They get a Razor Verge. And then, if they swing, they swing. I have no problem taking 3 damage to the face here. They kind of just mucked up their entire game plan. Alright. Weirdly enough, we're just going to go ahead and put that into the graveyard, and sure, we'll say yes to that trigger, even though it'll do nothing for us here. Alright, they put Satyr Wayfinder into their hand. They played the other Temple Garden. They play Wayfinder. They put the Darkboar in their hand. And everything else goes to the grave. Okay, so now we know the exact contents of their hand. And we're actually just going to go ahead and play that and turn Hive into a creature, eat the Rafine's Informant, and then just go to town. Like, the only time where this goes poorly is if we see a Sheoldred out of our opponent's side. Yeah, that goes into the grave. Yeah, that comes back. But right now we have kind of enough stuff to deal with the Sheoldred. Wow. Oh. Oh, would you just look at that? Would you just look at that? Our opponent went and thought. They thought that they could get a Sheoldred out on us. Alright, so basically all of our opponent's threats are gone at this point. Alright. His opponent just going to Grizzly Salvage? No? What are they doing? Are they just going to cast a Satyr Wayfinder? Okay, they're going to Can't Stay Away a Satyr Wayfinder? No, they just get another Sheoldred? How do they rip two off the top? That's insane. Okay. Well. Let's go ahead and just take a Satyr Wayfinder here. Opponent just took like an unnecessary 3 here, because I don't think they remembered that Sheoldred can count as a legendary to make Beseiju cheaper. Alright. They can Grizzly a Swamp. Alright. They draw and discard. So we know Beseiju can't, Alright. Well. What else are you going to get rid of here, opponent? Because there ain't a whole lot. Okay. So now they just get to sit here behind their Shelly Shield. Green, black. You know, it is at that moment that I realized I messed up. Alright, so kind of another punt there, because I could have put it in the graveyard, let landfall trigger, actually draw a card on my end step, and have enough land on the battlefield potentially if I drew yet another to double animate my hives and swing for a bunch. Plus, I'd have a 4/3 Tireless Tracker. Okay, an Informant again. Discarding a salvage. There is very little at this point that we don't know about. Okay, gross. Yep. Alright, well, play that. Yep. We will draw a card. Yeah, so this is the hand that would have had it, man. Again, that's a huge throw for us right now. Alright, where's the can't stay away? Taking that out of their yard. Okay. Okay. Opponent swings in for 5 this turn, and then they got us lethal for the next. Sheesh. So this is where it all falls apart for us. Alright. We need okay. We need to fade exactly. They don't have Parhelion. We need to fade Asika's Chariot. Asika's Chariot's what does it. Can we get there? Through the punts and the flames. Can we get there? Ugh. 3, 4. Can we get there? Can we get there? Holy cow. They had to discard Mana Confluence, and as long as they don't have a Satyr Wayfinder, we're good. There is no way we should have had this. Man, oh man. Well, hold up, let's see. Yeah, we really need to be careful about this one. Whew. Alright. We got there. Last one. Can we do it? Alright. So, Necromensch is good. but I think having that extra fatal push might be better. Alright. Risky hand, but I think the keep is worth it. And we're immediately losing unless we get another one. So you're telling me there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. Alright. Let's get there. Okay. We know the exact contents of their hand. Alright. It is no cards. Okay, so it's the risky play right now. If we survive this, no top deck Greasefang. Almost tapped the wrong one. If we had tapped the Otawara there, this game was over. Okay. So there's a chance, a very odd chance. Okay, so you thought sees us. You take our Thoughtseize. We draw. Okay, so if they play Sheoldred, we take what? Okay. Okay. Are we getting there? Are we getting there? Alright, so they play Informant. They definitely just got rid of that extra one they had in hand. They play a Temple Garden tapped. Okay, so we eat that Wayfinder. We eat that Wayfinder. We take those. Alright. Okay. Alright. So risky. Needlessly risky, bro. Alright. We need to exactly have removal off the top for when they try to do this Greasefang thing. Alright. Here we go. Can we do it? Ah, it was the wrong one. Oh, we were so close. An opponent will hit us for exactly 13 in the air. Oh, GG's opponent. Oh, the brutality. We'll let them get this win because they fought for it. Oh, it was so close. Alright, so currently it is an unimpressive 1 and 3. Let's see if we can salvage it with the good old 2-3. We might not get all of our play points, but we can at least get 50. Alright, let's get the participation trophy. Let's do it. Alright, final match. This hand is extremely keepable. If Zimone and Dina were a Thoughtseize, it's like the ideal mid-range hand, and even then, still really solid. Alright, opponent just plays an island and passes. That could really mean any number of things, but we'll go ahead and start with an Urborg. It's kind of crazy that we have a really good, like, 2-3-4 curve just in this hand alone. Alright, let's see what opponent does. Okay, so opponent's control. Alright, we're actually going to go ahead and shock that in and play the Deeproot Wayfinder. Let's see if our opponent's a reader here. Alright, opponent read the card, so they know what it does. Interesting, so our opponent's not actually control. They are Azorius Spirits. Okay. I mean, we're going to play this, and we're going to hopefully kill it. Alright, so alright, against Bant Control, I actually feel pretty good about this matchup. We are super removal heavy, and the fact that we've got a ton of the uncounterable removal spells in our sideboard, really good. Alright, they flash in a Spectral Sailor. Opponent's just going to swing. It looks like they only have 2 lands. No, they're just mono blue right now. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and do this. Always Surveil. I'll actually put that into the graveyard. And then we will not do anything with that. And Let's go ahead and play the Glizzy. Now, chances are Glissa will get countered. Yeah. And better Glissa than either Sheoldred or Zimone and Dina. Wow, opponent's down to 2 cards. Okay. Admittedly, we could have tapped a little better, so we could have at least held up mana to eat a creature out of their yard. Oh wow, opponent's going for the just aggro play here. Well, right now we're kind of beating our opponent on just tempo. So, start by big swing. We'll put the Briarbridge Tracker into the yard. Alright, and let's do Zimone and Dina. Opponent's reading. Reading is fundamental. And let's cast this just using green for both of those. And then we'll just fast forward through the turn. Alright, we've got all sorts of actual damage on board right now. Yay! Alright, sweet. Sideboarding. Alright. So here, our sideboarding is actually going to be fairly simple. So go for the throat, power word kill. What's going to come out is Chariot, a Shelly, and we're just kind of trimming across the board. The other thing that we want, Titania actually has reach, which is really relevant here. I think the other thing that we want to take is just a Bankbuster. Sure, there is synergy across this space, but again, not really a whole lot. Lily is kind of slow, so we'll take her out. Alright, so we're going to be on the draw with... Altogether, this is a fairly weak hand, so I think we're actually going to ship this one back. This one is much better. It's got all of our colors. The thing, however, is, do we want Thrun? Uncounterable, Trample, and Invincible? Indestructible, rather. Yeah. Thrun is the Mac here. Okay. So they just play Mausoleum Wanderer. Cool. We're going to go ahead and just play Breeding Pool tapped. And then whatever they do on 2 is going to be important for them. And it's going to be kind of valuable for us to deal with. Swing. Okay. Okay. Let's make them deal with this on their turn. Okay. Good. Good. We made them do the spell queller thing, so now we're gonna play Titania, and then they're either going to have a removal. They're gonna have the core spirit, whatever, the exile homie, the dead exile homie, in order to win here. Okay, they got 3 cards in hand. I mean, if they swing, what's the chance that they have the Lord effect? Okay. So this is actually insane right now. Like, our opponent cannot attack through our line. Okay. Okay. Now, here's a question. Are they just gonna kind of sit there? Okay. No. Let that happen. Then we will let the chaos ensue. Alright. We're gonna yield. We're gonna yield. Alright. This one's gonna target this one. This one's gonna target this one. That's impressive. Okay. So we took 3 things off their board. One of the cards in their hand. Okay. Okay. Alright. So this has been a very... This game's interesting. Alright, so Spell Queller's kind of off the table for us to kill right now. They need their core whatever in order to get through our line of blockers. We do unfortunately have to take 8 here, which really does kind of suck. Like, top decking the right removal spell right now would feel incredible. Unfortunately, all we do is get a... Well, let's go ahead and draw off of this. Yeah, alright. That's the move that would do it for us there. Alright, so final game. Bring that in over really what? I mean, Rona? Sure. Alright. Final game of the league. Can we bring it home with the 2-3? Hopefully we can. We would like to be on the play. If this hand had more land, it would be insane. This hand has emotion to it. Good or bad emotion is to be determined. Alright, put that there. And then start by doing that. This game might be over fairly quickly for us. Alright, so we've at least got a good 3-4 curve, potentially. Alright, let's go ahead and play that on 3, though. Okay. What you got, opponent? Lofty Denial. Wow. Did not expect a Lofty Denial in the blind like that. Okay. Can we get a Briarbridge Tracker through? Okay. So Briarbridge goes. Now, if opponent taps out on their turn 4, that'd be pretty sick. Okay, so they might. I don't know what they could do. They probably have a Geistlight Snare in hand. Waiting to take out just the right spell. Okay. Um. Okay. Okay. What's opponent gonna do here, though? Flash in a Supreme Phantom. Okay. I mean, you can keep drawing cards. Alright. What you got for me, opponent? What you got? Alright. We at least can swing 6 here. Opponent's got an Otawara? They're casting Mausoleum Wanderer? I am confused about the sudden turn of events. Okay. I mean, if they... Okay. You you cast Spell Queller. Congratulations. Okay. So I think we actually made it out of that bad situation and into a very fortunate spot in this game. Because if our opponent attacks right now, we're just going to block. Crew here. Okay. This game is all over the place. Okay. So opponents at 6. They keep top decking lands. Alright. We got there with the 2-3. I'll see you guys in the wrap up. Alright, so where do we stand with Girlboss Sultai at the end of this Pioneer League? Realistically, the deck did okay. Now, admittedly, did we get to see much of the Sultai stuff standing out? No. Didn't get to see the value with Rona. Didn't get to see Disdainful Stroke. Didn't get to see Negate really shine all that much except for in the one control match. Otawara sat in our hand a lot during that last game, and we could have just kind of leaned more heavily into the Golgari than anything else. And I think that's where a future iteration of this wants to lie. Now, is this basically the worse Rakdos argument that kind of comes into play whenever discussions of Golgari get brought into any type of context, any type of win rate? Realistically, there may be some merit to that. There may be some merit to the worse Rakdos argument. But I think Girlboss Sultai does have a place. Does it maybe need to go into that more combo-y direction? Yeah, that's a possibility. As we saw in our games, though, it can grind. In the practice matches that I've run, it can grind. It does just as well. It goes toe-to-toe with the other mid-range decks of the format. And the Rona value and Dina value kind of do help it stand up in the face of things like Rakdos. Now, where it does fall short, definitely in that control game. Those are the highlight worst matches for this deck. Where Rakdos definitely gains a lot of points, it's with Kroxa, it's with the amount of manlands that it runs. Could this deck get away with a Lair of the Hydra? Probably. With Deeproot Wayfinder, there's an argument to maybe go Rakdos and just mill ourselves a lot. Do we lose out on some of the value engines? Yeah, well, Jund. And losing some of the value, yeah. Realistically, we've got good card draw and just Glissa and the trackers alone. I do, in the future, want to explore this a little bit more as a good Rakdos alternative. This isn't the same Golgari, Sultai, green, black, whatever rock decks that you're used to in Pioneer. This has a lot more sticking power than I think we're really willing to give it credit for right now. And it's just a matter of the right build and the right pilot. And I think we can definitely see it happen. Until then, though, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, follow us on all of our socials, and see you guys in the next one.